That sounds disgusting in my ears. I don't like it.
And that'll do her.
Welcome to the Underachieving Enthusiast podcast. My name is Scott, and this is my wonderful lady, Chris. He's not a lady.
He's a he.
He is a man.
Hey, how's it doing?
Man.
That's mine.
And today we're going to be talking about a few of our favorite things. And we're not going to be discussing the sound of music. And that was a joke, so you should laugh. There it is. We're going to be discussing a few of our favorite things. So what are we discussing first?
You go. You pick the first topic.
Let's do favorite food.
Go ahead.
My favorite food is salmon.
Ugh!
And I love salmon because I don't like seafood, but I love freshwater fish, and salmon and like tilapia are like, oh yes, that's so good. With lemon and like roasted vegetables on the side. Oh god, it's so good. That's my favorite food.
That's like so adult of you.
It's so good.
And that's not good.
What is your
I
favorite?
don't like salmon. I don't like any fish at all.
Ugh.
Or anything that comes from water, I don't like.
Anything that originates in the ocean.
My favorite food is my mom's homemade bacon mac and cheese.
That sounds delicious.
It is like 4 sticks of butter, and it is so unhealthy for you, and it's the best thing I've ever had in my entire life.
That sounds incredible.
Yep.
What is your favorite sport?
Soccer.
Mine too.
Well, football, actually.
Football. Football.
Yeah.
I love how people... my manager at work, because I used to play a lot of soccer, she called me a grass fairy. And I'd never heard that before.
I've never heard that either.
So soccer players are grass fairies, apparently.
I
love soccer because it's so much harder than everybody thinks. You're like sprinting constantly. It's so much of a workout.
Yeah. What
Don't
was
hit
it?
that on the table.
I know. Like the apple.
Ow. That was awesome.
Yeah. Right before I got here, and like for the first few weeks that I was here, I kept calling soccer football. I was like, "Hey, you want to play some football?" And they're like, "You brought a football?" No, soccer, my bad. So that's why I said soccer, and then I was like, "Well, it's football actually."
Actually, my favorite sport probably to play is Ultimate.
Frisbee, I love playing that.
Ultimate is so fun. That's another thing where you're sprinting constantly. And it's even more of a workout because instead of like a steady pace of running, you're like sprinting really hard and then you stop and then you sprint really hard again and then you stop. And it's like back and forth and it's so hard.
But it's so much fun.
So much fun.
Want to throw a frisbee later?
Hmm?
Want to throw a frisbee later?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, now what's your favorite animal?
My favorite animal is a gazelle. Well, that's like, what animal would you want to be? Like, I would want to be a gazelle because they're fast as hell and it's awesome. You run away from everything. So
I would
much
want to
fun.
be a dog with a good owner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A domestic. Yeah, I think that'd be nice. I would be like being chased by alligators. Can alligators run? I don't think so. What would I be chased by if I was a gazelle?
Lions?
Lions. There's
There
the
you
answer.
go.
Not alligators.
I would totally want to be, or like, I would totally want to be, and my favorite animal is a sloth.
I think I knew that.
I love sloths. They are the best thing ever. Everything about a sloth is just perfect. They're great with kids. Honestly, they're great with kids. Like, if you put them down with a kid, they're really good with kids. And, yeah, I just love sloths. They're just great.
They sleep a lot.
They do.
And they eat a shit ton of bamboo.
A sloth is my spirit animal.
I could see it. I could be a sloth. A really ripped sloth.
I'm a really ripped sloth. Like, I'd be that one sloth that's like, I'm gonna go run a mile.
Very slowly.
I'm gonna go climb down the tree.
Nice.
That's my whole workout.
What is your favorite planet?
Earth.
Number one.
Because I have to live on it. Now, other than Earth, I would have to say Pluto, because Pluto is a planet in my book, and fuck all the people who say it's not.
Pluto's like the underdog planet.
Yep, I like the underdogs.
Me too. I would say Uranus is my favorite.
Just because it's Uranus.
It's very close.
Yeah.
Anyway. What is your favorite season
Ooh,
of the year?
either fall or winter.
My favorite is fall. because it's like the perfect blend of summer and winter, and it's not too cold or hot, and the temperatures are right around like mid-60s, and it's still like shorts weather. And it's like, it smells so good outside.
Yeah, especially like whenever you're stepping through some leaves, it's the best smell in the world. Yeah,
that's awesome.
But with winter comes snow.
Yeah, which is awesome. I can't wait. It's gonna snow so much. I looked up a model of the 2015-2016 snow projections, and it classified our area as a wintry battleground. So we're gonna be getting a lot of snow.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be incredible.
Favorite song? Only one.
Oh God. I'm gonna say.
Do you have one and then a second?
Damn.
Like two.
Okay. Wow. Probably Iscariot by Walk the Moon is my top choice, and then my second one is You See Me by Childish Gambino, the one we were just listening to. I love that song so much.
My two number one, Viva La Vida by Coldplay.
That's a good one.
Number two, Not Good Enough for the Truth and Cliche by Escape the Fate.
That's so good.
Yeah, that's
so
one of my
good.
favorite two songs.
I love that. What's your favorite movie? Of all time. Undisputed.
Big Hero 6.
I did not see that.
It's such... Oh my god, it's such a good movie.
It did not look like the best.
It is.
Really?
It is.
Huh.
JC, well, like my lady's favorite movie, is my girlfriend, my beautiful future wife's favorite movie is Frozen. But after she watched Big Hero 6, I would have to say it kind of moved her a little bit closer to... It's beaten Frozen by a little bit.
Nice. My favorite movie of all time is The Dark Knight, the Batman movie.
Good.
Of all time. The movie's so good. And I was under the impression that I didn't like Batman Begins, and I don't know why, but then I watched Batman Begins, and I love it so much. It inspired a tattoo that I want to get.
I watched the problem I have with The Dark Knight is the only time I ever watched it, I was over at somebody's house, and like I was over at a babysitter's house, and I had a migraine. Like I was a little kid, and I had such a bad migraine. Like the entire day, my head was hurting to the point where like I couldn't play my Game Boy, I couldn't do anything, and so like anytime I think of that movie,
I think of migraines.
It literally brings back that night. That was the worst day of my life. I went home. All I had to eat the entire day was like, do you know what pirate booty is?
No.
It's like
you ate the booty?
It's like this popcorn stuff, but it's like healthy for you.
Huh.
It's really cool. So like that's all I had. I had a cup of that, and I fell asleep at 5:00. And then my history teacher was like, "That's no excuse for you not to turn in your homework." And my mom wrote a note saying that I had a horrible migraine and that I obviously couldn't do it.
My son's skull felt like it was splitting in half. Give him a break.
And then he was like, "That's not an excuse." I was like, "Thanks, Professor." Mr. Thomas. Wait, was it Mr. Thomas? Not Mr. Thomas from like Anson County, but like Mr. Thomas from like Greensboro. You're a dick, bitch.
I'm sure when he hears this podcast, he's gonna be very upset.
Yeah, he'd be like, "Oh man,
I thought he liked me.
I'm sorry." Like there were so many like times where like I was trying really hard in this class. Like I went to this reenactment war battle thing, and I got this picture with these people, and apparently the file wouldn't send, so I didn't get extra credit for it. Oh, and me and my mom drove around for 2 hours trying to find it. Thanks, Mr. Thomas.
Dang it, Mr.
Thanks.
Thomas.
Fucking asshole.
What is your favorite video game of all time?
I cannot answer that question. Yes, I can closely answer that question. Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask. They're like
very close.
I think Majora's Mask is like right there, like right over it, barely.
My favorite game of all time is Shadow of the Colossus on PS2. That game, I don't know if you've ever played that, or it was like years ahead of its time for PS2. The graphics are incredible, and the game is amazing. It's so cool. It's like I don't know if it's in the set of the future or the past, but you go to this temple, and in order to like revive your dead sister or girlfriend, it's fuzzy what relation you are to her. But you have to defeat these colossi, you have to defeat these colossi. They're called colossus, but they're colossi because grammar. And then this big, huge, like mystical creatures that you have to like climb up and you're on a horse.
Sounds like God of War.
It's really awesome.
That sounds cool. What's your favorite band? Go.
Going on like the band that always makes me feel better no matter what, it's probably Walk the Moon. Because I could jam to that. Also the like criteria that every song that they've made I love. Like they have not had a bad song in my opinion. So I think that's kind of a good indication.
I don't know, just toss that question at you, but it's hard for me to answer that question. It's either like We the Kings, or like Crown the Empire, or like the Mowgli's, maybe.
Really?
They're getting there. But like, it's pretty much between We the Kings and the Wombats.
I have not listened to them.
And if we're talking like hard rock or like pretty much rock, like We the Kings is kind of like poppy rock, but like rock, it would be Crown the Empire. But the Wombats, Catfish and the Bottlemen, and We the Kings. And if I had to pick one, I'd have to cut my arm off. Good.
Because I can't decide.
Probably be We the Kings. I cried both times I've seen them in concert because it was that good.
What is like your favorite time of day? Like, are you a night person or morning person?
Okay, favorite type of day is at night whenever the sun has not gone down, but it's not up, and you can see like the like pink.
Yeah.
Like it's where you can't see the sun, but it's still sunlight barely. It's just great.
That's awesome. I like that too.
And then sorry for interrupting.
No,
you.
yeah.
And then early in the morning or late at night.
That's what I was gonna say.
Like 6 a.m. if I'm well rested. I love it. Or like more like 5:30, 5 o'clock because no one else is up. The sun's coming up and it's like you get to see
cool,
the day.
and it's like everything like smells really good. My like scent is my most sensitive sense. Wow. So like the smell of the rain and like leaves and like I love it so much.
And it's like 5 a.m. whenever there are no cars and nothing going on, you're like,
it's gonna be a good day.
Yeah. Or like 3 a.m. if I'm not really tired.
Right.
That's my favorite time.
This may take some thinking, but what is your favorite memory? It doesn't have to involve anybody or just what is it? I have to think of mine too. There's so much to think about.
We have a special guest for the moment that might entertain you while we are thinking of this. This is Tim.
Hey.
Tim's been sitting beside the table the whole time.
Just listening.
No, he's been researching the deep web.
Yeah, I have.
What was that beeping?
I'm not doing that anymore.
Wow. I was like, was I the only one that heard that?
Shut up, Scott.
Tim, talk about something while we're thinking.
Well, I guess I'll just talk about the deep web. The deep web is a wonderful place where people go and freely express themselves.
I can't think for myself right now.
However, the deep web is very horrible at times. I say a lot, so be prepared.
Oh, that's gonna be a bitch editing.
But yeah, if you're ever curious, I recommend looking up. But make sure you watch some YouTube tutorial videos of how to, because you don't want to end up on some child pornography website and come get arrested.
I would like to avoid those.
Exactly. So be safe, but have fun in a non-sexual manner.
Special message from Tim.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you, Tim, for the intermission. Have you got yours? No.
I'm still stuck on mine. Let's ask you another one while we think. What is your favorite beverage? Favorite soda and favorite non-soda?
My favorite soda is it's either orange or grape.
What?
Yeah.
That got me, dude. I was not expecting that.
I'm gonna say orange soda, and my favorite non-soda drink is
Sweet tea.
Sweet tea.
That'll do her.
No, I like water a lot.
Yeah.
I like water. Water's good for you.
Well, I haven't drank soda in 7 months, but my favorite soda was definitely Dr. Pepper.
Oh no, thank you.
What?
It's the worst.
And a nice cold DP to start your day is like, that's it, dude.
That's the one.
Or like a Mountain Dew. Like those two were hand in hand by far my favorites. But I always was like, orange soda or grape. But then like whenever I would have it, I was like, this is some good stuff. But it's like Fritos. Like you never choose Fritos, but it's the only thing. And you bite into it, you're like, why didn't I pick these? These are good.
I should give Fritos more of a chance.
Yeah, and then you never do. That's how it was for me, and yeah. So my favorite non-soda beverage would have to be. There's like different layers. Like my favorite non-soda beverage would either be water, or it'd be like McDonald's sweet tea.
I love fruit punch. I forgot, yeah. Fruit punch is way up
Gatorade. G2, like not regular Gatorade, like the low calorie Gatorade.
That stuff tastes
It
better.
tastes so much better.
I don't know why, it just does.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Favorite memory?
Shit.
I have two.
I have like a recent one.
One of mine's more recent.
Okay.
So, on the very last day of high school, we were so my school was New Tech, so it was like at a different location, but we all met up at the regular high school for on the football field for graduation practice early in the morning, and I got my transcripts and everything. We were about to leave, and as I was about to leave, I was just talking to my guidance counselor. She said, "Oh, and by the way, I need to show you something." So she grabbed my thing from me. She started like try not to cry right now because it was like this huge thing for me. She was like flipping through the pages. But my freshman year I kind of slacked off. Like I didn't work as hard as I should have. I just hit myself in the dick. That hurt. I didn't work as hard as I should have, and so my sophomore, junior, and senior year, I like worked really hard because I've been trying to I wanted to graduate top 5. And every semester, I was number 7. Or no, I was number 6. Number 6, dude.
Damn.
Always number 6, no matter what.
I was 100 out of 200. Like, I was right in the middle.
But number 6. And so, like, in my school, there were 5 junior marshals. I was number 6. So it was always a reminder that I was just not quite good enough. And the third 9 weeks of my senior year, I was still ranked 6th, and so I was just kind of like, you know what, it's fine. I'll just graduate 6th. That's not bad, that's pretty good. And then my transcript was handed to me. She was flipping through the pages and pointed at a number, and it said, ranked 4. I went up 2 ranks. Like, I had worked so hard. And so it all finally paid off. I just started bawling my eyes out. I was so happy. It's either that, because it just shows never give up and it will eventually happen. I was just it was such a feel good moment for me.
That's cool.
And then my other one would be when I got accepted to Western. That was pretty big for me.
That's a big time.
How about you?
That's adorable. My favorite memories. I forgot about that one actually. One that's really funny is I wore my GoPro on my head, when I was graduating, walking across the stage. So that was really fun. One of my favorite memories is during our senior prank, we filled up our common area that it's like outside and has like planter boxes out there. We snuck onto the campus and got ladders and got on the roof, and we poured a shit ton of balloons in the like that area that was outside, and we like filled it up. It was really, really cool. So that was really cool. But my other favorite moment involves band, and I was a drum major for my high school band my senior year. And if you don't know what that is, that's the person that stands up and conducts in front of everybody. And
I for a minute I was like, yeah, I know what that
not
is.
you.
Scott. I was like, wait, he's talking to the audience. Gotcha.
Because people, when you're like, I was drum major, like, oh, I love the drums. Like, no, you're stupid. But so I was drum major and I was conducting, and it was at our Appalachian competition. I remember this so vividly. And there was a chord towards the very end that is just like a huge, huge chord. It was the big final hit, and it was our last competition. And it was like, it was a combination, and you don't know this unless you're a musician, but it was, and especially a marching band, but it was like a combination of everybody coming together at one time for one purpose, and it worked perfectly, and it could not have made me like more happy. And in that like downbeat with the very last chord, like I started crying because it was like, this is the most perfect chord I've ever heard in my entire life. But at the same time, it's like, when I cut this off, it'll be over, because that was like the last. That was the last one. That was our last competition. And as I wish I could have just held it in that moment forever. But, yeah. A lot of people don't understand, but you get, like, really into it. And it was like, oh, it hurts. But that is my favorite memory of all time, I'm pretty sure. Is that moment that I just wish I could hold on to forever. But unfortunately, you can't. I think that's what life is about. Just making those moments that you just wish you could hold on to.
Yeah. Two of my favorite moments is the very first home football game I marched on the field. That was amazing. That was like, do you remember that? Yeah, of course you do. The very first halftime show I ever played, and I was so nervous and scared. And at the time, I was the smallest bass drum, and the way we'd set up, I was the first person to walk on the field, and so I was like. So, like, it was literally an empty field, and I was just walking. And so, for that very first time, for that one moment, whenever I was walking onto the field, it was like I couldn't see anybody else. It was just me and the field. And it was like...
I remember when I was a freshman, this is the only time we had gone to that competition. When I was in high school, we went to Annapolis, which is near Baltimore. And I don't remember what stadium we played at. Actually, it was the Air Force Stadium. I do remember that. It was the Air Force Stadium. And we were in a marching competition. And the way you went into this tunnel that's completely blocked off. You couldn't see anything. And there's this ramp that went down. And all of a sudden, like, the field just opens up. And it was, like, the biggest stadium you've ever, like... And we were, like, sitting there, like, about to march. And you're just walking down this ramp, and all of a sudden, like, this huge field opens up with the boxes are, like, a mile high, and, like, there's thousands of people there. It's like, oh, shit, I hope I know my music. Like, that was, like, heart-stopping. Yeah. This is why, like, people need music in schools, and it needs to never go away, because you don't get shit like that for, like, oh, I made a 90 on my math test. Awesome. Like, you don't get that shit from... schoolwork, and it pisses me off when people are like, yeah, band's not important. Band's so fucking important.
My last high school home game, I literally sobbed. As soon as I put my drum down and like it hit me, I was like, this is it. But like walking up, like the whole night was fine up until walking back to the band room. Because that's when I was like, oh my God. Like, I was like, that right there was it. Like, the whole, like, holding on to it.
Yeah.
The very last song, like, I just wanted it to just stay.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you stop, you know how, like, you, like, perform and you sit and you stop, and, like, that's it? Like, I just wanted it to stand there. And, like, never leave the field. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, I'm fine. And then when we went to go put our stuff up, I put my drum in the case. Like, I didn't even close the case. I didn't even put up my carrier. I didn't put up my stand, nothing. put my drum inside the case, and I just started crying, and I cried for like 20 minutes straight. It was bad.
You don't get that shit from other things. Only music that I've experienced is something that gives you something like that, which is crazy. But this has been 25 minutes of our favorite things. Do you have any other favorite things?
I have lots of other favorite things, but I guess we can do a favorite things part 2 when we have better questions.
That is true. But well, I hope you enjoyed today's podcast, and thank you, Tim, for providing entertainment for that brief moment.
You're welcome, Scott and Chris.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You're
welcome.
Hope you enjoyed the podcast, and we will see you in the next episode. Peace.
Swagadoodle.
Doesn't make any sense.